Yo, it's me. It's your boy Rudy, and welcome to a brand new episode of the RTE, the mini podcast exclusively made for casuals. Now, on today's episode of the RTE, we're going to talk about the co-main event of UFC 271. UFC 271 happened in Houston, Texas. The main event was Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker 2, the part 2, because it was a rematch. And hey, if you want to check out the video I made on the main event, Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker 2, part 2, because it was a rematch, check out the video I made on that up here, or I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, back to this fight. This is the heavyweight division, so this is my brother's division. So this is mainly why I give credit to this division, and I follow the division a lot. I'm also a casual MMA fan. I'm also a casual fighting fan, not only MMA, and sports fan in general. And that's why you'll get it in this channel, Casuals. Derrick Lewis is the UFC heavyweight knockout king. He holds the record for most knockouts in the heavyweight division, which is 13. So, knowing that, any opponent must be intimidated going into a fight with Derrick Lewis. But that wasn't the case with Tai Tuivasa. BamBam, as we call him, the shoey, aka the shoey. He came into the fight with the same fire, with the same spirit as Derrick Lewis. Hear me out. At the press conference, one guy, the media asked Derrick Lewis, how do you see the fight ending? How's the fight going to end? And Derrick Lewis said, I'm gonna bang him up. I'm going to knock him out. And Tai Tuivasa said the same thing. It's like, bro, I'm here to do the same thing. I'm gonna knock you out too. So he came with the fire spirit, with the knockout spirit, and that's what I like about Shooey, Tai Tuivasa. And also, even in the build-up of the fight, remember in my main event talk with Israel Adesanya said that the UFC dropped the ball in the promotion of this fight, and he was right, because they're in Houston, and there's a saying that says everything is big in Houston. But at the beginning, this fight wasn't really announced as big as it should have, but it ended up being a very nice event, a very nice fight card, and a very nice outcome for all the fighters. So Tai Tuivasa, during the build-up of this fight, made all the folks at ESPN make a shoey on live TV, and that was so funny. That was one of my memorable moments in the build-up of this whole UFC 271 main event. It was still Tai Tuivasa, and he brought up. So I followed the shoey vibe. I'm just all about it. He's from Australia. Tai Tuivasa. He's 28 years old. He's a young 28 years old fighter from Australia, and Derrick Lewis is 38 years old fighter from Texas, Houston, Texas, here in the USA. So now let's get to the fight. Round one of the fight, both of the men, they're big guys, so they're both swinging and missing. You can tell, swinging around. They're both getting tired. They're both not used to moving a lot, so both of them are not moving a lot. And I believe, and I know, because Tai Tuivasa said this, and the blueprint to beat Derrick Lewis, a guy like Derrick Lewis, a guy that's very big with a huge knockout power, but with not too much mobility, is to either stay long range with light kicks or close range in a clinch position where you can throw some dirty elbows in the clinch position, but never stay in the middle range with Derrick Lewis, because that's his range. That's Derrick Lewis's knockout range. So if you stay in that range with Derrick Lewis, you're in danger. And I think Tai Tuivasa executed the plan very well, because that was his game plan. And he started in round one with some nice low leg kicks on Derrick Lewis's left leg, I think. But as his career is fading away, we've seen he's getting older and stuff. The knockout power is diminishing. I won't say diminishing, because he just knocked out Chris Dawkins, but at the higher level, it's diminishing a little bit, because people at the higher level has kind of figured out a way to beat him, which is disable his legs by kicking him a little bit, moving around, making him tired, and then just fatigue him and knock him out when the opportunity comes. And that's exactly what Tai Tuivasa did. So round one, Tai Tuivasa has some couple low leg kicks. Derrick Lewis feels the power and now engages the clinch because he thought he was more powerful, and you could tell in the clinch. Now he takes down Tai Tuivasa for a little bit in round 1 and does some work there. Now when Tai Tuivasa is working his way up, that's where the most danger happened to Tai Tuivasa, because he eats some big shots, and I mean it, like some really big shots from Derrick Lewis. And when I was watching it live, I thought that was it for Tai. I thought he was going to pass out. But you should have seen him live. Watch him live. Watch Tai's face, his reaction to hit back, to counter back at Derrick Lewis. It's like, bro, I'm not just going to sit here and watch you punch me. I'm going to punch back too. And he just went there. He was swinging and missing, but he was just going back. And that worked because he was able to get out of that dangerous position to get back into more favorite positions for him. And then after that, he turned Derrick Lewis's back to the fence and started banging him. He hit him with a couple shots, and then round 2 comes. Tai Tuivasa's team tells him at the break after round 1, Tai Tuivasa's team tell him, bro, you have to stay composed. Don't just bang with him. Use some timing, use some feints. Go in, go out, and then that's exactly what he did and knocked him out. Round 2 comes. Tai Tuivasa uses some feints right away. The beginning of round 2 uses some great feints right away, and Derrick Lewis bites on a couple of those feints, and that's what created an opening for Tai Tuivasa to hit Derrick Lewis with a couple combos, and then that got Derrick Lewis rocked. He was rocked and wobbled, and Tai Tuivasa found himself in a clinch position up close where he landed the famous elbow that knocked out the knockout king, Derrick Lewis. It was so entertaining because I just knew it. I knew Tai Tuivasa had it in him, that he could do it, and he went there out and did it. And I'll say this right now, and I don't know how I feel about it. You tell me down in the comment section down below, but I strongly believe that maybe Derrick Lewis just passed the torch of knockouts to Tai Tuivasa. Now, hear me out here. I'm not counting my brother in this discussion, but Tai Tuivasa is very young. He's only 28 years young, so he has at least 10 years, 10 more years to fight in the UFC, and I'm thinking he has maybe like 15, 20 more years. So that being said, he has a lot of time to rack up those knockouts, and I think he's going to do that. I think he's going to be a very tough opponent, unless you put a guy that's technical like Cyril Gane, like the French guy Cyril Gane. I don't see who can really put him down. I mean, the champ is gonna knock him out real quick, but apart from that, you can put a guy like Stipe, some big wrestling guys, but I don't know. So you guys let me know in the comment section down below what you think of Tai Tuivasa, aka BamBam, and let me know if you ride the Shooey vibe too, because I think that's very interesting. But I ride it. I like interesting stuff. And that being said, take care, stay safe, stay blessed, stay positive, and remember, love is key. Peace.